what's up everyone, Jerry from StogieReview.com, back again with another video cigar review, and this time around I'm smoking a long-awaited review. I know I've gotten a couple emails asking when I was going to actually review this cigar, since it's made multiple appearances in the my weekend smoke posts, and that's the CAO OSA Sol. I'll put in some better pictures there. Now the OSA Sol, the OSA stands for Olanco San Agustin, which is the region area of Honduras in which this beautiful medium brown looking wrapper comes from. So that's where the OSA part is. It has a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper and filler from Nicaragua and Honduras. Let's see, what else? Well, 3 available sizes: a Robusto, which is a 5x50, they call that the Lot 50. There's the Lot 58, which is a kind of a double Toro, which is a 6 1/4 by 58. And the one I'm reviewing here that was sent out to a bunch of bloggers is the Lot 54, which comes in at 6 inches long with a 54 ring gauge. Prices on these vary about $120 for a box for Robustos, and up to about $145 for a box of the double Toros here. And I'll talk a little bit more about pricing and sizes as this review progresses. But this was released this year at this year's IPCPR show in Las Vegas 2011. The first release from the new people behind CAO Cigars, Rick Rodriguez and Ed McKenna, the two new guys since the CAO merger with General Cigars. So, and I'll talk about that a little bit too, I guess, further on the video. But so stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and light up my CAO OSA Sol Lot 54 and see how it goes. All right, just lit up here my CAO OSA Sol Lot 54. This is a Toro size. And things are going pretty well. You know, later on when I talk about size, I'm going to say this isn't probably the most preferable size that I enjoy. Matter of fact, I think I mentioned in my weekend smoke that this is probably the wrong size to send bloggers. But it's not that it's a bad size, just kind of not my size, I guess is the better term for it. No problems here on the burn, no problems here on the draw. Everything's going smoothly there. One thing you notice about this blend, about the wrapper, this OSA wrapper, is how bright the wrapper tastes. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's got a really nice, sweet, woodsy, sweet, earthy flavor to it. But then it also has this citrusy component to it. I don't want to say lemon zest or orange peel or limeade or any kind of crazy shit like that, but it's got some kind of citrusy component that really brightens up the flavor profile. You know, we're so used to so many cigars with that dark, syrupy texture, dark flavors. This one's not so much with the OSA Sol. This is a very bright tasting cigar here. I wouldn't say sour, but it's just a very nice bright flavor, and the sweet, earthy, woodsy flavors that I mentioned there help complement it so that those citrusy flavors don't become overwhelming or overpowering, which I don't find that flavor, the citrusy flavor, in a lot of cigars, and it's not typically a flavor note that I care for. But for whatever reason, with this wrapper and with those other flavors, to balance it out, it really works for me. So off to a really good start here on the OSA Sol. Like I said, not my favorite size. I think the Robusto size, the 5x50 size, is really the size to try, the size to smoke a lot of, the size that you're going to buy a lot of. You know, the Lot 54, these guys, I got a bunch of them in the mail from, I think, Victoria McKee from General. I think she felt bad since she stiffed me at IPCPR. Every time I get a package from her, whether it's something from Macanudo or something from La Gloria, it always included a 5-pack or 2 of the Lot 54 OSA Sol. But then at the show, and since they've hit the shelves, I've tried the Robusto, and then I've also, since they've hit the shelves, tried the double Toro, and by far the Robusto is by far the best tasting of the bunch. So, but I'll talk about that more later on. So in the meantime, I'm gonna smoke the rest of my OSA Sol, continue to work on my OSA Sol, and check back with you in a few. All right, a little further into my CAO OSA Sol, the Lot 54 size. No problems here on the burn, no problems here on the draw. Flavor profile still staying pretty consistent. Definitely the most notable and noticeable flavor is that citrusy component to it, mixed in there with that sweet, earthy, woodsy flavor. Not a bad balance of a cigar. You know, in the beginning I wanted to talk about the sizes, the pricing, and CAO in general. You know, a lot of us, I'll be the first to admit, you know, I was worried about the brand myself, mainly because I was so close to John Huber and the rest of the guys at CAO. before the merger. And so, I was a little nervous. I didn't want the brand to become just another product in the catalog of General Cigars, if you know what I mean. So, a lot of people had a lot of high expectations. Do they, expect them to hit, create a cigar that was going to hit it out of the park, hit a home run? Some people thought they had to hit a home run right off the back. I didn't really think that, but I know they had to do something, right? I mean, to stay relevant after the merger, they had to do something. So doing something wasn't an option. I mean, look at Camacho with the Davidoff merger. What has Camacho released recently that outside of their annual Liberty Series? What really has Camacho done outside of Room 101? But nothing to the core brand for Camacho. So the CAO guys had to do something to stay relevant. The Osa Sol, size-wise, 3 sizes: Robusto, Toro, Double Toro. I think the Toro and the Double Toro sizes, I wouldn't even bother with those. I mean, the flavors on here are okay, but they come out and blend so much more beautifully in the Robusto size. And I can only imagine what the blend and how much the wrapper flavor would pop if it was on something smaller like a Corona, or something in the Corona size, or even a limited Lancero size, how much flavor that wrapper would put off. I mean, you get it here in the bigger size, in the Lot 54 and Lot 58, but nowhere near as much as you get with the Robusto size, the Lot 50 size. So I think, I understand they probably had to do something big, a big ring gauge cigar. If that was the case, you know what, just do the 6x60 and be done with it, and then do the Robusto, and then do something in the Corona size, and then do it like a limited Lancero would have been perfect in my eyes. I think the Lot 54 size they sent out to all of us bloggers, I think was a totally wrong size. I think while the flavors are there, it doesn't pop like it does on the Robusto size. Some of the samples I got from the show or off the shelf at W. Curtis Draper's for the Osa Sol, those flavors popped at that size. I mean, it was just amazing, night and day difference here. Pricing, I know this is going to be kind of ticky-tacky, but if I were to price it, I would have priced it no more than the La Traviata. I mean, you look at the pricing for, and I brought it up here on my screen here on the size, for the same size, for the Robusto size, okay, the Osa Sol MSRP is for $144, right? The La Traviata and the Divino size, which is the Robusto size, MSRP on it is $118. So, 144. So you look at like what, $25, $26 difference, and that might not, to me, that seems like a lot of money. Maybe not to anybody else out there, but I would have made it so that it's no more than La Traviata, because now when I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, do I spend $118? And those are just MSRP numbers. We know places where we can get them way below MSRP. I get a box of the Divinos for $80, but it might, I'm no marketing guy, but when I go into the shop and I see, and I'm looking to buy a box, and I'm saying, okay, do I buy a box of CAO La Traviata for $118, or do I buy a box of the Osa Sol for $144? Well, I really enjoy the La Traviata, so I'm going to go with the La Traviata. I'm going to go with the tried and true method instead of spending the money on something that I'm not sure of, or something that, I know that it might not make a lot of sense, but to me, I would have priced it no more than the La Traviata, just for the simple sake of save the people some money. La Traviata is, on the blogosphere, is one of the cigars when people say, what's a great economical smoke that's not going to break the wallet. 9 times out of 10, someone's going to say La Traviata. I mean, in a recent episode of Your Questions, My Answers, all 4 of us mentioned La Traviata as a great go-to economical cigar. So for me, some people say this was a safe cigar for them to release, and I don't argue with that. I don't think it's a home run by any means, but I think if they would have tweaked the pricing a little bit to be no less than La Traviata, and I think if they came out with a more diversified sizes instead of the 3 tired old sizes, and something with a little more excitement to it, I think it would have went from a great a great at bat that turned out to be a ground rule double into actually hitting a home run. So had to sneak a little baseball terminology in there. So that's my take on the whole size, pricing, and things like that. So anyways, I'm gonna sit back and finish up my OSA Sol, and I'll be back. I'm not even at the halfway point, so I just had that on my mind and needed to get it off. So stay tuned. All right, around the halfway point here, my CAO OSA Sol, and things are going pretty well here. Still no problems here on the burn, no problems on the draw. As far as flavor profile wise, that earthiness is starting to ramp up, be a little bit more to the forefront here. Still citrusy, still woodsy. A little bit of pepperiness starting to build up. The body of the cigar, definitely a solid medium, maybe even up to a full-bodied cigar here on the flavor profile. Strength-wise, solid medium on the strength level. All in all, a very enjoyable cigar. And you know, when I mentioned earlier about how the Lot 54 and the Lot 58 sizes, that's my own personal opinion. They don't do anything for me here. I feel like sometimes the wrapper doesn't shine as much. Sometimes the blend kind of gets too airy. But in that Lot 50 size, that Robusto size, man, I mean, that wrapper really shines. That wrapper really pops, and it's exciting to think about. And this is why I'm kind of so adamant about trying it in a smaller ring gauge size, in a Corona or even a Lancero size, is because, you know, you smoke a big ring gauge cigar like a 6x60, and then you smoke that same cigar in a Lancero size. Man, the difference in flavor profile is night and day. I mean, the wrapper pops, just shines through so much more in the Lancero size than it will in the larger ring gauge format here. So it's exciting to see this wrapper that's beautiful to look at and has that unique flavor to it. It's exciting to think about the possibilities of how else they can use it, and how much the flavor is going to shine in such a smaller ring gauge by itself here. I mean, I just think it's just an amazing wrapper. Like I said, I don't think they hit a home run with this. I think it's a solid cigar, definitely a good ground rule double, and I think a few tweaks here and there, they definitely can make it into a home run type of cigar here. But a great first step for the guys at CAO. I'm really impressed with it. Honestly, like I said, I had my doubts. I thought they were going to fuck it up, and I was going to swear off CAO cigars for the rest of my life. But thankfully they didn't. Thankfully they gave something that's very competitive price. I'd like to see it, like I said, a little lower in price. You know, something more in the La Traviata, no more than the La Traviata pricing, but that might be nitpicking here and there. But solid cigar, definitely flavor profile wise, you know, in that medium full flavor, full body flavor profile range. Strength wise, solid medium bodied cigar, almost one of those any time of day cigars. It could be your first cigar of the day. It's light enough to be your first cigar of the day, but it's still robust enough to pleasure you later in the evening. That's what she said. So all in all, things are going great here with the Lot 54 of the OSA Sol. Not my favorite size, like I said, but getting the job done nonetheless. All right, so I didn't realize that I went on and editorialized a few clips ago for about 6 minutes here, so I don't want the video to get any longer than it has to be. CAO OSA Sol. In a nutshell, no problems here on the burn, no problems here in draw. Predominantly, you get that citrusy flavor with lots of sweet, earthy, woodsy notes to go along with it. Great balance to the cigar. I think size makes all the difference. I really think the cigar is stellar, is impeccable in the Robusto size. Lot 54, Lot 58, the two bigger sizes, the two other sizes, not so much. I mean, enjoyable, yes, but the flavors definitely don't pop like they do or shine through like they do in the Robusto size. So size makes all the difference. That's what she said. So all in all, I gotta say, it's a great first step for you guys behind CAO Cigars. Very excited for them, seeing what they're gonna do next. It was great meeting with them and talking with them finally a few months ago when they were visiting DC. It was great to kind of put faces to names and talk to them and get to know them. And hopefully it's the start of a new relationship, kind of like I had with the old guys at CAO Cigars here. But Rick Rodriguez, Ed McKenna, great first step. Excited to see what you guys are going to do next. I think that's going to be the test. Everybody can come out with a great one hit cigar. So let's see what you guys. I'm challenging you guys to do something something else. Challenge you guys to do something better, bigger next time around here. But all in all, OSA Sol, I enjoy it. I know on the blogosphere it's been really hit or miss and kind of a lukewarm reception here and there. But for me, it works only in the Robusto size. I think that's a great size. Hopefully, if you guys decide, hopefully the CAO will decide to expand the line and extend the line a bit, include some smaller ring gauge cigars. On the horizon is Delaware Cigar Festival next week. Me and Walt checking it out and doing our thing. And then also I should have some, Delaware Cigar Festival, then Little Puff here at W. Curtis Drapers, my hometown B&M, their local their annual event, big event for the year, as well as I should have more news on the Series JJ Little Robusto. I actually have a date for you by the time my next review rolls around. So until then, as always, long fucking ashes. Voyaging? This goes to you, Voyaging? Nah, I'll give this to you too many times, Voyaging. This goes out to the Stogie guys for having too much of a fucking similar name that people confuse us. So fuck you, Stogie guys.